some disciplines read papers and others make stuff up as they go along. So I'm going to be doing the latter. So what I'm interested in today, so what I'm going to do here, so it's not just it's highly connected with I think so I think there's so you know now okay so now we're I think familiar with that so the idea is that there are these of so whatever, you know, that's how you do it in logic. And you know, now you know, that's like it's because you know so you know I don't know what's going on with that. And it's what whether you know it was actually like okay but you know this was an A and you know and so you know with or introduction to mathematical logic. I would be if you would think, you know, raw. I think so. Oh yeah, and then the more. So sorry for those of you who don't know this. Of six. Now again, I worry. So now again, you know. She's like, yeah. So it was like rough. So I have just written a book on the nature of ideology. Again, okay. Because I saw it, I see it. So I think it's is that well, there it's the opposite. So so the first but he's but it's and there's just a ton of different so okay, so what I've said is but then you know so deep when so you know so now yeah so 3 more minutes okay now yeah so now let me so we're you know creationism so person so now now there's it's not just yeah right and so it's not like and this whereas I think it's clear that some, okay, so I think, but so you can, so you would if but I think that there's so my first so some of those I'm not going to discuss. I'm not going to discuss since we're familiar. Well, and I want to why we're sort of compelled to, like, I'm a cosmopolitan Northeastern intellectual who doesn't like to conceive himself as existing outside New York City.